Well, we've arrived at the high seas and ready to get started. Before we go, I'm looking around here and I see a minor problem in that I don't think there's any... What the heck? A phone booth. Okay. Hello?
Hello, Mr. 1976.
It's Sir 19...
I see you have arrived. The vehicles are suitable for your needs?
Yes, mostly. I do have a question about the plane. Are you aware that where I landed there's no suitable place to take off?
I'm sure you can figure it out. You have access to all you'll need. And you're a trail leader.
It just may take some extra time to reconfigure it.
That sounds like a you problem. If you can't complete your mission, I have someone who's willing to do it for a $4.
Is his name LittleCornDogs by chance?
Yes, actually.
Yikes, okay, I'm sure I can figure it out over a cup of coffee.
When you've already been paid, you'll need to find your own copy. Goodbye,
But where can I
1976.
find coffee?
Alright, let's play some trail makers. Oh, crap.
Alright, so I've got my plane, seaworthy, and let us get the map all sorted out here. So as you can see, I put some pontoons here on detachable blocks. I needed to add some gimbal jets to help me lift up a bit and put on some wings on the front. I also put on a distance sensor so that if I'm taking off from the land, these will just detach automatically, and an altitude sensor, they'll drop off at 150. So my goal here is to open up this map as much as I possibly can. So let's get in our plane. I'll talk a bit about it as we're flying. Come on, take off, take off. Ooh, that wasn't good. Need to do an air repair. So there's a few details on this plane that make it perfect for this job. As you can see on the right, I've got a setting for altitude. I've set it at the max, which is 1,000, and it basically has autopilot, so it's going to be lifting up until it hits 1,000 meters, and then it should level off. And then it also has mouse steering, which I can turn off by pressing P. And then I'm not steering any longer. So now I'm flying in a nice straight line. As you can see, I'm now in full autopilot mode. So, next question is though, where am I going? It appears that I am leaving the map, so I'm going to have to make a hard right here. I also have it set up so that all of my flying is done with the mouse, so left mouse click to go up, right mouse click to go down, and then actually I have it for a double mouse click, so clicking both buttons turns my engines off and on. Okay, oh, it looks like I'm making a swath on the map now. So how I did the mouse clicks is by using an aggregate block and then end blocks with two different values. So up is 0.25, down is minus 0.035, and then that goes and it sums them up. And then I use three comparison logics, one to check if one's pressed, one's to check if the other's pressed, and one's to check if both are pressed. So, pretty simple system. Can't say the same about the autopilot. Here, you know what? I am going to, while I'm flying, I'm going to just show you how it works. I put together this little plane to show how to make an autopilot. So, let's get right into it. I need a few things here on the back. Get rid of these. Put on a couple of number displays. I'm going to put all of my logic down here. So let's start with an altitude sensor. Now I'm going to hide that one because I need the connection and we will get the display here. So let's put the display for the altitude sensor up there. And we need an arithmetic gate. Let's go with painting the whole thing like that. Okay. Arithmetic. Now we set this one to minus 0.1 and multiply, and this just brings the altitude down to 10% of its value, so it's a little easier to work with. Now we need another aggregate block, which this will be right here, and what we will add in here is this arithmetic sensor from the altitude sensor. We'll add that together with the accumulator, and that will give you a difference between your setting and what the current altitude is. So put that one down here, and let's just save this in case things go horribly wrong. All right, we need the altitude sensor, not on trigger but on normalized, and let's just put that out, not normalized, measurement. Oh, and right. Let's put this down to minus 100. Okay, now you can see that we are at 300 meters. And why are we going backwards? Hold on. Oh, it's this. That little piston glitch there. Hold on. Now we're not going anywhere. And now you can set your oh, I need another arithmetic gate so it looks normal. Accumulator, get out of there. And I need an arithmetic gate to multiply that by 10 so it's in the same as the altitude. Multiply by 10. Okay. Now you can see. So, fortunately, it only goes up to 1,000. So you have to do some bit of different math to change it so that it can go higher. If you want to fly up higher, you can figure that math out yourself. So, now that we know what the difference is between the what you want it set at and the altitude, let's hide those. Now we need to make it tell the plane to do that. So what we need is some comparison blocks. Two, to be exact. What we have to do, because we don't want the autopilot to be on all the time, and what I found the easiest thing to do is to throw in another aggregate block, and this time I put it on product. This value into the aggregate block, and then find a 1x2 block somewhere and replace it with an AND gate. And I usually call it 0 for auto, and then put that into the product. So then if the autopilot is off, this product will be at 0, which won't do anything. Okay, and then let's plug that product into the comparison gates. So now this one is, if it's, well, let's put it at 0 for now, just, and let's put the output of -1, and this one at 0, and if it's greater than that, it'll be 1. And then let's plug all of that, or plug both of these into these flap wings. And let's make sure that all these flap wings are not toggled, and set to Q. And then oh, there's the garbage truck. Garbage truck. There's the the garbage collector. That's kind of cool way up in here. You'll see that there's nothing, they aren't moving. Now if I turn on my autopilot, that'll actually take them up. To make just keeping track of everything easier, let's give all of these a speed of -1. Then this way, when I turn on my autopilot, it wants me to go down, and the reason it wants me to go down is because I have my autopilot set at 0. So it wants to go down. Now if I bring it up, now it'll take me up.
Drop down a few hundred feet.
Now the problem with having these set at 0
Just lowered my
is that you're going to be constantly bobbing in the air. So I usually give them a value, or the threshold of 1 and -1. So if it's greater than 1, and then this one is less than -1, turn on the autopilot, it's going down. And see it's at 300,
there's a beacon down there.
let's go at 310, there, and at 320 it wants to take you up. Okay, let's go for a flight and see if this actually works. Let's head on up to, well, let's go up to 1,000. Let's turn off the autopilot for takeoff. Uh-oh. Well, that wasn't right. Let's put it on 1. It's because how far back the wings are, the elevators are actually working the opposite way. They try to get into that beacon and see if they'll register it. There's another problem. Because it just wants to keep climbing and climbing and climbing until it reaches that. It has no shut off. So what you have to do there is add in an angle sensor. I don't need all of these. An angle sensor. Right here. I think yep. An angle sensor. Just for weights and balance, I'm going to put in 2, but you really don't need to. Now, let's pop that up. And currently it is at 90 degrees. That's a lot of pitch. So I set it at 30 degrees. And then the other great thing about that product is that I can now just put it in here. So it shuts everything down when I'm outside of that. And let's put this down again. Whoa. Needs to do some tweaking on that angle sensor. So let's set the width to 60. 15-degree offset. So now it still won't climb that steeply, but it'll give you a little more steepness on the drop. Of course, you could throw some gyros and stuff in here to make it more stable in the air. I won't get into all of that. Unless I have to. Okay, so we're over 1,000 almost. And it's diving, and that seems to do the trick. It's funny, I've obviously built this into my plane that I'm using in high seas. And I've already worked all this stuff out, but do you think I remembered it all? No. But it was also not quite as streamlined as this one. I have quite a few more logic in there because there's a few things that I figured out when I was really thinking through this. But it works fine. What's a few extra logic blocks between friends? Well, that was the wall. Also, in my other plane, I have it so it won't steer either, but that's because I have mouse steering and full mouse controls. This one, I do not. Fairly happy with this. I think my other plane does it a bit better, but you get the idea. Yeah, let's go back to me flying around high seas. Take this in for a landing. We can. Turn off the autopilot. So there's a ring here. Don't think I know there's a ring here. How did I end up there? Oh, it's a checkpoint. Ah. Good to know. Okay, and somewhere over here there was one as well. Well, let's see. What we can do.